Hi everyone, my name is Katharine. I am the UK MD for Dacxi. Welcome to today's beginners session. So today is the 22nd of June, so all the information I'm giving you today is correct as of today. So welcome to those of you that are listening live, and hope those of you that are listening again enjoy. Let me just share my screen. So hopefully you will see some slides. Can I just have a thumbs up if you can see some slides? That's great, very good. We just mute off those of us who are not talking. So a massive welcome to this session. Firstly, a quick disclaimer, the information I'm going to give you over the next 20 minutes or so is not investment advice, financial advice or trading advice. Rather, it's education, inspiration and information around crypto generally and around Dacxi. So Dacxi is a very education focused business. We're very unique in the crypto world as an exchange for two reasons. The first is that most people that are using our platform are not traders. You can use our platform to trade, but most people tend to use it to hold their crypto. And the second reason is that we are very education focused. So we seek to put out lots of resources around education in the crypto space, which is fun, lighthearted, not full of jargon. And for nearly everyone that uses our platform, typically it will be their first time of getting into crypto. So in this presentation, which should last about 15-20 minutes, we're going to cover the basics of crypto, what drives that market, why it's valuable, why people are buying it, how you can make money out of it, and we'll talk about current prices and where we think that's going. As a business, we put out a lot of industry analysis. What to avoid, there's obviously an awful lot of bad ideas, bad products and bad exchanges. So we have to acknowledge that you need to keep yourself safe in a crypto environment. Where we feel we're at in the investment cycle and where that's going, and of course, how you can get involved. So look, for those of you that are listening live, there is a chat function. If you go along the bottom of your screen, it will give you a little pop-up saying chat or Q&A. So feel free as I'm talking to put any comments in there. I'll try and watch them as I'm talking. Sometimes they're a little bit tricky to pick up, but I'll try and pick up any questions either whilst I'm speaking or at the end. So we're very proud of the amount of press coverage that we get at Dacxi. We are considered an authority in the space. This is just a couple of publications we've been in the last couple of weeks and months. So we do get asked an awful lot what we think. I run the UK and I probably get an inquiry for press commentary every couple of days. So you'll see us putting out a lot of information. So we are considered an authority in the space. And you can keep abreast of all those quotes and information that's going out via either our website or lots of social media content that we have. So we're on LinkedIn, Facebook, we have our own website. So depending on what type of social media you fancy, we're on all sorts of flavors of social media, so feel free to pick up whatever you see fit. But you'll see a lot of information that we put out around what's happening. And it's often said in crypto that a week in crypto is probably 3 months of normal time. It's a bit like dog years. Time moves differently for different people, and a lot is going on in crypto. It's a very dynamic marketplace. So I just want to talk about some of the reasons why people use Dacxi's platform. I think a lot of people are very worried about the coronavirus recession and what the world will look like when this madness finally disappears. It's true to say that pretty much overnight when coronavirus hit, we lost around 25% on our stock market. So the FTSE 100 being obviously a great health check for the UK economy. You know, it's our 100 top traded companies. So 25% gone overnight when many of the vanilla traditional financial services products are based on it is bad news. And of course, more broadly, globally, coronavirus is thought to have wiped around $9 trillion worth of value. So certainly for most people that we talk to, it's both their first time of getting involved in crypto. And probably it'd be fair to say they wouldn't have looked at crypto 12, 18 months ago when things were going a bit better. Of course, the rate on cash in the bank is not so great at the moment. The Bank of England base rate is 0.1%. So that is the lowest base rate on record. So in the couple of hundred years the Bank of England has existed, it's the lowest rate ever. And if you look at some of the sort of comparison websites, I got this from Money Supermarket, the best rate I could get on instant access was 0.75%. And right now inflation is 1.8, so technically leaving your money in the bank is costing you money. And there's also been some chat in the press recently around negative interest rates, so having to pay the bank for leaving your money in the bank, which isn't great. So for that reason, lots of people choose to switch some of their cash into crypto just to get a better return. We talk to obviously a lot of property investors. Traditionally, property was a really great investment. Every 7 to 10 years, it was doubling. And that was true over an extended period of time in the UK. So even if you didn't have buy-to-lets, the house that you live in was probably going up at a fairly good rate. And that was true until our general financial crash in 2008. It took until late 2015, early 2016 for those house prices to come back to their historic levels. And since then, growth rates haven't been so hot. Buy-to-let yields are down, rental voids are up. So lots of property investors we talk to are keeping their property investments, but are looking for a slightly healthier return. So just some background on some of the people that currently use our platform. So I think more broadly, there's a lot of curiosity around crypto. I think it's a very hard topic to research. If you hit the internet, kind of fall into a black hole of information very quickly. So as a business, what we try and do is get together the information which we know is important, and more importantly, in a bite-sized format. So I think a lot of the curiosity comes around crypto because it has been the best performing asset on the planet over the last year. And more importantly, since the coronavirus recession, those crypto assets recovered harder, faster and better than anything that's traditional and vanilla in the financial services sector. So these are some figures which are correct as of today, which is the 22nd of June. I was putting these on about 20 minutes ago. So this is morning of 22nd of June. Growth rates year to date. Ethereum's up 92%, Bitcoin's up 32%, Litecoin's up 12%, and the Dacxi is up 10%. There's also a further 15% coming on the Dacxi in the next couple of weeks. So those growth rates on crypto, particularly the blue chip cryptos, and I'll talk about why those cryptos specifically are important in the next 10 minutes or so. But those growth rates are very exciting to the people that use our platform. So one of the things we do, there's a few people on this call that are involved with Dacxi who have a really good WhatsApp group. And every day when I wake up, the first thing I do is open the app to see what crypto's done overnight before I start looking at BBC News Online. So overall, it's been some very, very good news for crypto this year to date. And again, lots of people now considering crypto that frankly wouldn't have done a year or two ago. I spoke to someone recently, I think Nick will know who it was, who was offered 100 Bitcoin for 20 quid 4 years ago. And bearing in mind that as we're talking, one Bitcoin is worth 7,600 quid. That would have been quite a good deal. Unfortunately, he said no. So we talk about lots of people that got involved in Bitcoin 4 years ago. That's great. They've seen some fantastic growth. But typically our platform users tend to be newer to the party and coming on board now. And as a business, we've been running for a couple of years now, but certainly the people that use the platform today, all of our new customers, we get hundreds month in, month out, are very much new to crypto as an industry. So very worth keeping an eye on our social media. We put out a lot of analysis around what's going on. So this presentation is very much intended to be an introduction to crypto. There's an awful lot of industry chat, both from Dacxi and more broadly about where those cryptos are going in the next 12 to 24 months. And Bitcoin really has a very strong story behind it. So it's considered to be the poster child, if you like, of cryptos. And there's a lot of chat around those blue chip cryptos having a 10 to 20-fold increase over the next 12 to 24 months. And a lot of that chat around Bitcoin is based on it being a better, faster, more efficient, cheaper way of moving value. And it's proposed very much as a replacement for gold. You'll hear it called digital gold or an improved version, a better version. So it would only take a couple of % of the global market of gold to move to Bitcoin to have a huge effect on prices, between 10 and 20%. And if you start researching some of these industry commentators, us included, that are talking about those price growth predictions, they're often based on Bitcoin replacing some of gold. So certainly a theme that's worth looking into. We have a couple of crypto ebooks that are out there that are free. If you haven't got those already, do contact the person that introduced you to Dacxi. They're very quick reads, they're very easily accessible, and they'll talk around some of those predictions and reasons for those prices going up. Excuse me. So a quick run through what crypto is. Obviously, crypto and blockchain are very regularly in the same breath. Blockchain as a technology has been around for a number of decades. A bunch of academics came up with it and pretty much couldn't think of anything to do with it. More recently, blockchain is a very well-established technology. You'll see it deployed across a number of industries, from agriculture to health tech, lots of pharma, lots of banking, lots of supply chain. So this slide is from Forbes, and it talks about 50 businesses that are currently using blockchain. As you can see, there's some of the world's biggest brands, so very much an established technology. And blockchain is the foundation stone of the cryptocurrencies. Traditionally, a database would be kept in one place and people would ping it for information. Now the information is distributed across the users, sometimes called distributed ledger technology. And that really is the foundation stone of cryptos, and certainly an established and proven technology now. And interestingly, you'll see a lot of very big brands coming to the table. Some of the world's biggest payment companies, MasterCard has got digital wallets. PayPal is applying for patents in this area. Visa, you can spend crypto today. They've partnered with Coinbase. And some of the world's biggest retail businesses are already talking about accepting crypto. So eBay last year said they were looking to accept it. Amazon, Uber, and Starbucks today are involved. So again, some of those big businesses spending millions of pounds on updating their platforms. And the argument around crypto, and there are people that work in it that are truly evangelical, is about that march of progress. So I think we see very much that it's a technology which is coming and we believe will be dominant in the relatively near future. And certainly the prices of crypto would suggest that we're getting some very good traction. And there's a lot of chat around Bitcoin particularly having what's called its iPhone moment. So just that moment where it's not only got traction, it's a snowball that can't be stopped. But it is going to increasingly be the dominant technology that runs our lives. So one of the things we talk a lot about is some of the big institutional players coming to the marketplace. And we often get asked why that's relevant if you're putting, £100 or £1,000 into Bitcoin. And the answer is very simply that the people that got involved 3-4 years ago tended to be individual private speculators that have done very well. And now you see a lot of institutional buyers coming to the table. And when you look at the tens of billions of pounds of Bitcoin, Ethereum and Litecoin that are traded every day, that is not purely private investors. You've got some very big buyers coming to the table. So the World Economic Forum reported last year that dozens of central banks have got active blockchain projects. So a central bank, of course, being the bank of each country. So our very own Bank of England, the European Bank, and in China, they're about to digitize their currency as well. So it's very likely, even for people that don't wish to use crypto, you will be seeing digitized currencies very shortly. And the Bank of International Settlements, which is the organization for central banks, reported that 80% of banks that they surveyed have got work on digital currencies. So very much a technology which is coming and obviously getting some phenomenal traction. So one of the things we like to say is that crypto solves problems. I'll come to why we focus on those 4 coins. But the institutional buyers are very focused on which assets they're after. There's about 5,500 cryptos right now, the vast majority of which are, quite frankly, carrying a health warning. So crypto has to solve problems, and obviously because it's a better, faster, cheaper way of transferring value, obviously a lot of very big financial companies are interested. So a few examples: New York Stock Exchange is very outspoken on its support. JP Morgan and Citi obviously are tier 1 banks. BlackRock is the world's biggest asset manager by volume. They've got just shy of $7 trillion under management. They have blockchain projects. DTCC is responsible for processing securities, and it's by a long way the world's largest financial processor in terms of value. They're using blockchain. So look, huge businesses coming to the table and getting involved. There's some really big hedge funds now, the Medallion Fund, Paul Tudor Jones. Every day, more people who are involved in the traditional financial infrastructure are coming out and talking in support, which is great. So this is a graphic from one of our ebooks, which I would highly recommend as reading. And it looks at the life cycle of Bitcoin. So you can see that there has been a fair amount of volatility. So one of the reasons why most people that we talk to are not looking to trade, they're looking to hold, is they want long-term capital growth in a way they can't find in traditional markets. So with that volatility, you can see that every time there's a boom, there is a correction afterwards. But each time there's a boom, the next boom is at a higher level. So we feel that the 5th boom is driven by institutional investors. And certainly if you look at daily volumes, which typically double year on year, there's a lot of demand for that asset class. So some huge growth, which is wonderful. And it is our opinion, once those institutional buyers hit the marketplace and own most of that asset, it's unlikely there will be a 6th boom. So that sort of gold standard, if you like, is a 10 to 20-fold increase over the next 12 to 24 months. Tends to be broadly across the industry, what is agreed on. So obviously a real once in a generation opportunity to see some phenomenal gains, and particularly for people that have used our platform already. The DAC coin has gone up 400% over an 18-month period. And certainly the growth that our platform users have seen, they all own their own coins, their own account, has been substantial to date, which is great. So I think it's key to talk about which cryptos we focus on. Of those 5,500, we know that the institutions are very focused on a very short list, which is Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. And those blue chip coins actually account for between 60 and 80% of daily traded volume. So out of 5,500, if there's only 3, which are 80%, up to 80% of daily traded volume, I think that tells quite a powerful story. And actually where we're focused on 2 products, which is our bundle and the DAC coin. The bundle, which is Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, over a year has outperformed a pure Bitcoin purchase by about 100%. So I think very key that we've done that homework into what we see as having the most potential capital growth. So a quick introduction to Dacxi, which is a way of purchasing and holding your crypto. There's 2 ways of holding your crypto. You can either hold it on what essentially is a USB stick and pray that you never lose the password, or you can store online. So we'll talk about security ratings in a minute, but obviously very, very key to make sure you're safe online. I'm old enough to remember when online banking came out, and obviously lots of chat around how safe that was and how you can keep yourself safe. So unfortunately, a lot of these exchanges are based in some very weird and wacky places. So we're quite unusual. We have European licenses and a UK office. And we're actually intending to list the business on the London Stock Exchange in the next year or so, hopefully. We're the only exchange, as I say, that focuses on people that want to hold. We're very much focused on education and community. And we also wish to be in the crowdfunding space in the relatively near future. So you will see our community coin, which is the DAC coin, used for a venture exchange, which is great. We do have the largest client services team per user, we believe, of any crypto business. And we have a very phenomenal founding team. So certainly just some homework to go into making sure the platform you're using is the right one. And a great way of doing that is looking at the independent security rating. So Mozilla Observatory is a developer's tool. It's an independent party which looks at any website in the world and how secure it is. So we have an A+ rating, which is the highest one you can get. We rank higher than any other exchange as far as I'm aware. And I'm yet to find a UK high street bank whose website rates anything above a B. In fact, there's some of the high street banks which rate D or F. So again, homework I think is key to do if you're going to start securing your assets online. So Dacxi does 2 things. We have a bundle, so anyone that purchases coins in their own account would have that split between 50% Bitcoin, 20% Ethereum, 10% Litecoin, and 20% DAC. With a further 10% as a bit of an incentive right now. And that's been very popular. Like I say, that has outperformed pure Bitcoin by about 100%. We also have many clients that buy our community coin. Again, very popular in terms of capital growth. That's gone up about 400% over 18 months or so. And we're also doing another price increase in the next couple of weeks in mid-July. So again, proven very popular in providing some great capital growth. The reason that coin has done so very well is the ecosystem that we have. I don't unfortunately have quite enough time in this presentation to go into that. If you haven't tracked it down, there's a great Dacxi ecosystem presentation. We've talked a lot more about what that coin is designed for, why it's gone up so much historically, and why all the analysis is that it's phenomenally undervalued right now. So our platform users have an entry level of £100. We can accept company purchase. And we are currently working on an ISA product, which we're very excited and hope to bring to the marketplace very soon. So watch this space. So the buying process is quite simple. We can set up accounts online, and obviously during lockdown, as we are in the UK right now, that's proven quite popular. You can purchase from the privacy of your own home. We are, of course, required to do what's called KYC, which is Know Your Client for anti-money laundering reasons, which is part of the FCA's requirements. So you have to provide a photographic ID, which is your passport or driving license, plus a proof of address within 3 months. You can fund your account, and then it very much looks like an online banking app. It's very, very user-friendly, very low touch. And we've designed that in-house with a crypto specialist from a big tech team sitting in Brazil. So definitely worth setting up an account just to have a play with. And we also have a current free 1,000 coin offering, which again just gets people using the platform and seeing how it all works. So if you haven't taken advantage of that, very much worth getting hold of someone, and we automatically provide it for any new customers. So I'm nearing the end of the time that I'm given to speak today. So today is very much an introduction. I hope that you've found some of the content interesting. We have huge amounts of learning, whether it's our social media, our ebooks, all the webinars that we record. You can watch live or listen again. We have huge amounts of access to the Dacxi leaders who are very happy to be on for Q&A at various times of the day and night, which is great. Loads of free resources. If you haven't got those, please do track them down or ask the person that introduced you to Dacxi. We have a very busy calendar of online events, which you can find on our website. Again, all completely free and at sensible times of day. And of course, do report back to the person that introduced you just to provide your comments. So look, I always like to end on this slide. I think the people who are in the crypto world are very committed to it and evangelical. Certainly as a business, and my personal opinion is that it won't replace banking. I don't want it to. I think the banks have got a place in the infrastructure, but I feel like the rise of Bitcoin and the other blue chip crypto shows that the current infrastructure is not fit for purpose. So look, if you're early on your journey into crypto, do keep educating yourself. It's a really dynamic and interesting industry. And I think you'll see that march of technology has been pretty much unstoppable. So look, I will stop sharing my screen and I will stop recording. So thanks for listening, and I'll just stop recording and open to Q&A for our live attendees.